You get Mad Max, you get Carrie, you get 2001: A Space Odyssey, and you get Japan. Akira. In 2019, after World War III, Japan is in shambles. It is corrupt and it is dirty and disgusting. Now, the movie focuses on a biker gang led by a character only known as Canada. And Canada's best friend, Tetsuo, gets captured by the government and experimented on in a project called Akira. And this experiment gives him godlike powers, and he goes on a rampage through Tokyo. I absolutely love this movie. It is so emotionally powerful and so politically provocative. As soon as you see a character and you just see the way they move and you see their mannerisms, you just know who they are and you understand them entirely. The main characters of this movie are street criminals. I should not be able to relate to them in any way, shape, or form, but I do. And they don't have many redeeming qualities either. They just feel human, and so you relate to them on that level, just because they feel human. In the movie, there's a corrupt, oppressive government in Japan, and then there's this radical rebellion. The movie chooses not to focus on this big war going on. It chooses to focus on these people that are trying to survive. The movie is smart enough to know that we wouldn't really care about these people fighting for their freedom. They know that most of humanity just wants to survive. So by putting the focus on these struggling characters who just want to live and are trying to fend for themselves, we relate to them more. And not only that, but you understand where every other character is coming from. The resistance people, you get it. They're fighting for their freedom. The corrupt politicians, you get it. They're trying to make their own living and they're trying to maintain some sense of order. There's a scientist who experiments on Canada's friend. And you get him. He's a scientist. And he wants to unlock this power. There's this military colonel who's in charge of Operation Kira. And you get why he would do everything he's doing. He feels oppressed by everyone. This movie is so beautifully drawn. Every single shot is just breathtaking. And it is so much that late 20th century style of Japanimation that I love. The way that they establish Japan as just this grimy, awful, corrupt place is so fantastic. You take one look at that city and you know what happened to it. And the way that the world is established helps you to understand the characters even more than you already would. It's amazing. This movie is so well paced because there's just so much going on and they're able to make sense of all of it. Nothing feels forced, nothing feels stupid or out of place. It all flows perfectly. The theme of this movie is corruption, and you see that in the city and the way that the city affects the people inside of it. You can tell that the way the city is what causes the politicians to be as dirty and corrupt as they are. It's what causes all these kids to go out on their bikes and be street criminals. Troubled times can corrupt, and so can power. And that's really what this movie's trying to tell you. So when Tetsuo gets his powers, and he goes on this big rampage, that is consistent with the theme they've been showing us. And that is fantastic writing. And that just blew my mind. I was like, that's perfect. Akira is an emotionally effective, thematically consistent, and beautiful looking movie that you guys really should check out. I'm gonna give Akira an A+.